At her graduation party, my stepdaughter sat me near the trash cans while her biological dad took my seat. Then she gave her real dad the laptop I bought, thanked him for believing in her since day one, and whispered I was just a small regret. I ate in silence. After everyone left, she handed me the $5,100 bill for the night. I looked at it, then at her, and walked out 1 to 7 missed calls because her card. "You can sit there," she said, pointing vaguely toward the metal chair closest to the trash cans. Her voice didn't rise above the music, but the words hit like a slap. I looked at the seat, wobbly leg, crushed soda can on the floor beside it, 2 feet from where the caterers were dumping plates of half-eaten food. "There," she repeated. Impatient now, I blinked. "Ava, is this? I just need you to be chill tonight, okay?" She cut me off. Then she turned, her dress shimmering under the lights, and practically skipped toward the center table, my seat, where her biological father had just been, guided by a smiling server. He sat down with the confidence of someone who knew he was welcome. My chair, the one I was supposed to have, the one I paid for, next to her mother. Next to her, I watched as she leaned in and gave him a side hug, all performative warmth and gratitude, and pulled something from under the table. It was gift-wrapped, clumsy but deliberate. "Open it, Dad," she said, her voice rising with excitement. I didn't need to see it. I already knew. He peeled the paper away slowly, milking it for the crowd, and there it was, the exact laptop I bought a month ago, the one she picked out with me down to the matte finish and the upgraded memory, the one she told me would help her with next steps in grad school. Now she was handing it to him. She hugged him again. Her voice dropped low, just enough that she probably thought I wouldn't hear. "Thanks for believing in me since day one." And then, barely a whisper, but I heard it, "He's just a small regret." I didn't flinch. I just sat there, back straight, hands folded in my lap like I was at a funeral. I ate in silence, plastic plate, warm potato salad. My fork trembled just once. The speeches came next, her mentor from university, then a friend, then her mother. One by one they raised glasses to her brilliance, her courage, her future. I clapped, I smiled, I even took a few pictures like some hired assistant. No one thanked me. By the time the DJ started packing up and the last guest wandered out, I was already stacking empty cups into bins. Old habit: do something useful, even when invisible. She came over when the room was almost empty. No preamble, no eye contact, just a folded slip of paper. "What's this?" I asked. "Just what's left for the night. You said you'd cover it." I opened the receipt. $5,132.88. I stared at it, then looked up. She finally met my eyes. I folded the paper in half, slid it back onto the table, and said nothing. Then I turned and walked out. I didn't go home that night. I drove nowhere in particular, just away, gas tank ticking down, city lights thinning, into darkness. At some point I ended up in a Taco Bell parking lot, eating a cold quesadilla while reading the bill again under the dome light. $5,130.88, and not a single thank you. The worst part? I'd already paid most of it in advance. The venue deposit, the custom cake, even the balloons that spelled "Congrats Ava" in gold foil. She just wanted me to see the total, to make me feel owned, like the help. It had never been about gratitude. It had always been about leverage. I met Ava when she was 10. She was shy at first, testing me in the quiet way some kids do when they've been burned too many times by promises with expiration dates. Her mom, Dana, was warm but guarded, divorced for years. Her ex, Brent, the real dad, was mostly absent but swooped in every so often with a weekend ski pass or a last-minute birthday card with $50 inside, then disappeared for months. I never wanted to replace anyone. I just wanted to show up and stay for a while. It seemed like that was enough. When Ava got the flu in 9th grade, I was the one who slept on the floor next to her bed, holding a bowl and rubbing her back while Dana worked night shifts. When she got rejected from her first choice college, I stayed up editing her essay until 3 o'clock a.m. for the next round. When she made it into UC Berkeley, I bought the plane ticket and the dorm essentials. Brent sent an emoji. She called me dad once, just once. It was quiet. We were making pancakes. She burned one. I remember her saying, "Dad, this one looks like Kansas," and then catching herself. She never said it again, but I held on to that moment like it meant something. The laptop had been the latest in a long line of gifts, not because she asked, but because she dropped hints like breadcrumbs. "My old one's lagging so bad, I can't Even open Zoom. I'm just so stressed. Her voice always softened when she needed something not warm, calculated. Dana, of course, always defended her. She's just overwhelmed, love. She's got a lot on her shoulders. Funny. I thought I had the shoulders. 2 days after the party, Dana called. Casual tone. Hey babe, Ava's just figuring out how to split the bill. Do you want her to Venmo you the difference? Or just handle it? I said nothing. Babe, you know what she said to me. Silence. She called me a regret. Handed me the check and called me a regret. Dana sighed, like she'd heard this 100 times. She didn't mean it like that. You know how emotional these nights are. No, I know how calculated she is. Dana's tone shifted. Don't make this about you. This was her night, her moment. I paid for her moment. Click. It escalated faster than I expected. That weekend, Ava posted a carousel on Instagram. The caption, forever grateful to the man who never gave up on me. Hashtag real that hashtag async day 1. First slide, her hugging Brent. Second, him unwrapping the laptop. Third, him giving a mock toast while everyone cheered. I wasn't in a single photo. Comments poured in. I love this. You two look so much alike. Such a proud dad. Then one that hit like a hammer. This is what family looks like. I stared at it until my eyes burned. Then I scrolled back deep into her feed. My birthday. Gift from last year, no post. The graduation watch I'd engraved buried. The Disneyland trip I financed when she was 16, not even a story highlight. I had been erased cleanly, deliberately. Monday morning, a notification popped up. At Ava Mar tagged you in a comment. I clicked. It was a photo of her and Brent again. Same party, but the caption was different. Some people buy their way in. Some just belong. Hashtag blood ATDers, hashtag family first. In the comments, someone asked who the guy near the trash cans was. She replied, oh, just someone who helped out. Just someone. That same week, Brent emailed me. Subject, hey, can we talk? Hey man, first off, congrats on raising a brilliant kid. I know we've had our differences, but I really appreciate you being there for Ava all these years. I wanted to touch base about the laptop. She said you might want it back. Totally get it if you're feeling a little sore about the seating thing, teenagers, right? Anyway, let me know. No hard feelings. He signed it. Best Brent. I didn't reply. I just forwarded the email to Dana. She never responded. Instead, Ava texted me the next morning. You're being really immature. This is why I never felt close to you. You always make everything about yourself. Then another. Mom's exhausted. You need to back off. You're acting like some victim when you've done nothing but make her life harder lately. Nothing but help. Nothing but show up. Nothing but sacrifice. And now I was being painted as the villain in a story I bankrolled. I started digging not out of revenge, out of necessity. Old receipts, shared credit card statements, emails. I had access to everything after all. I've been the tech guy for years, the one who set up Ava's iCloud, the one who helped Dana with her Gmail recovery when she kept forgetting the password. I found emails from Ava to Brent, months before graduation. Don't worry, I'll make sure you get the spotlight. He just wants to feel included, but I'll handle it. You're the one who matters. I'm only asking him for the laptop because he's dumb enough to say yes. Just play along. Can't wait till this whole stepdad act is over. You and me, we know who my real parent is. The timestamps didn't lie. I printed them, highlighted them, kept them in a manila folder marked truth, but I wasn't ready to use them. Not yet. First, I wanted to see how deep this hole really went. That's when I found the shared folder on Google Drive. Grad night. Assets. Inside were photos, captions, template replies to comments, even the hashtag #SyncDioni. She drafted it 2 weeks before the party. None of this was spontaneous. It was a production, and I had quietly backed every part of it. Thursday night, Dana came home late. We hadn't spoken much, just silence and sighs between walls. She sat on the edge of the bed and said, Ava's hurt. She feels like you're pulling away. I am. She needs you. No, she needs an audience. She's young. She's not innocent. Dana looked at me, really looked. For once, I saw something other than practice neutrality. I saw fear. What are you going to do? She asked. I didn't answer. I just smiled, the kind of smile you give when a storm's already building and you're just waiting for the lightning to land. I arrived early not because I was eager, just because I wanted to see their house before the storm. The same crumpled gold Ava balloons still hung from the ceiling. Unwashed wine glasses sat on the sideboard. It was like the night never ended, no cleanup, no accountability. Fitting. They came in laughing like nothing ever happened. Dana smiled. That tight, practiced smile. Brent shook my hand like we were old friends. Let's hope tonight's drama-free, he said with a wink. Ava wore a new dress, phone in hand, didn't even look at me. We sat down, chicken salad, wine, small talk that felt like a hostage negotiation. They talked about UCLA internships, new beginnings. Brent nodded along like a proud king. I said nothing, until Ava turned and said, "Thanks for coming." I know. Things got a little tense, but maybe we can just let it go. We're family after all. I smiled and placed a flash drive on the table. All three of them stared. What's that? Dana asked. Your memory? I said. I stood, walked over to the TV, plugged in my laptop and clicked play. First slide, an iCloud screenshot. Don't worry, he'll pay for it all. He's soft. Then a chat thread between Ava and Brent. You're the only one who matters. The other one's just financing. Dana gasped. Brent leaned forward. Ava's expression didn't move, but her neck flushed red. Then came the audio. Ava's voice. I'll give him the bill and see if he cries. He's not even family, just a small regret. Brent sat back pale. You never showed me this, he said. Voice low. Ava shifted in her chair. I opened another file, a folder titled Grad Night Assets. Photoshop drafts of the guest list. Photographer instructions. Keep Brent in frame at all times. The hashtag #async day 1. Created 2 weeks before the party. You didn't just erase me, I said. You cast me as background. Dana exploded. Enough. This is cruel. We were trying to make a beautiful night. I looked at her like she was a stranger. Beautiful, right? A $5,000 humiliation. My gift, my laptop and a seat next to the trash. Ava finally spoke. You're acting like a wounded child. I smiled. And you're acting like a supporting actress who thinks she won an Oscar. I pulled out one more thing. The bill, $5,132.88. Printed, folded, highlighted. This is what I paid. But you know what? I pulled out a second sheet, a spreadsheet. Laptop, 2,000 SAT prep, 1,200 flights, 890 Dana's car payment, 3,500 3 months of dorm rent, 4,600 scholarship gift cash, 1,000 total, 13,190. This is the price of being a small regret. Ava stared down, hands trembling. You threw a party where the goal wasn't celebration, it was a razor. Brent stood up. I didn't ask for any of this. No, I said. You just enjoyed it. Dana tried to cut in. We just wanted to do something special. I turned to her. You did. It was special, the most public humiliation I've ever experienced. Then I took out my phone, opened the family group chat, deleted it, set the phone down. This isn't revenge. It's closure in full. They didn't speak. I stood, picked up my jacket, and calmly walked toward the door. Just as I reached it, Ava whispered, You're destroying this family. I turned back, looked her dead in the eye. You broke it long ago. I'm just stepping away. And I walked out. The morning after I walked out, I didn't wake up bitter. I woke up free. No calls, no group chats, no one asking if I could just help this one time. The silence wasn't empty, it was clean. For the first time in years, I didn't feel like a background character in my own life. I made coffee, ate eggs on paper towels because I hadn't unpacked my plates yet, sat in my small rented apartment with bare walls and zero expectations. And it was perfect. That afternoon, I opened my laptop and pulled up the folder I had labeled. Insurance screenshots, receipts, emails, the audio files, the graduation party invoice, the spreadsheet I'd shown at dinner but now annotated, color-coded, timestamps hyperlinked. Then I wrote the post. When someone calls you a regret after you pay for their future, that's not a misunderstanding, that's a blueprint. This is what family looks like when you're only useful in silence. I paid for the party, the laptop, the rent, the bills, the therapy. I showed up for 12 years. He showed up for one night and got the thanks. This is not revenge, it's my side of the story. Then I attached the files. I posted it anonymously at first. Reddit, a throwaway medium. Blog, a few private Discord groups. By the next morning, it had over 300,000 views. By evening, someone recognized Ava. The post hit Facebook, then TikTok, then Twitter, then LinkedIn somehow. Screenshots of her saying he's just financing started circulating. Threads exploded. People debated parental roles, emotional labor, financial abuse. I stayed out of it, but I watched, because I was done arguing. I had spoken. Now they could choke on the echo. Dana called me first 5 times in 1 hour. Then came a voicemail, tearful and tight. Please call me. This has gotten out of control. She's getting messages. People are posting threats. Please. I didn't respond. Ava posted a black screened Instagram with white text. I'm sorry if anyone misunderstood my intentions. Love isn't about money. Then, she turned off comments. 2 hours later, she deleted her account. Brent tried to be clever, wrote a short Facebook post. Social media is not where real families fix things. Stay strong, Ava. The people who matter know the truth, which would have worked if someone hadn't replied with a screenshot of him calling me soft and replaceable. That post got reported, then deleted, but the internet doesn't forget. The flood came next. Texts from cousins, man, that was harsh, maybe too harsh. You sure you want to air family stuff like that? If you need to talk. I didn't reply. My phone buzzed with news requests. A podcast host DM'd me. Some counselor tagged me in a video about invisible step-parents. One guy from LinkedIn offered me a job. He said he liked my tone of quiet vengeance. I didn't accept any of it, not because I was scared, because I was done being a reaction. 3 days in, Ava texted me directly. I didn't mean to hurt you. Then again, can we please talk? Not to fight, just to clear things. Then a voice memo, her voice sounding younger than she ever had in real life. I know I took things for granted. I don't know who I am without the drama. I listened twice, then I archived it. No reply. Dana tried again. I raised her wrong, maybe. But you were supposed to be the calm one, as if my silence was a contract she could renegotiate. You could have handled this privately, but that's the thing about silence. It only feels private to the person who benefits from it. I didn't move cities. I didn't burn all the bridges. I just stopped paving new ones. I changed my banking info, cut off the auto payments to Dana's car, canceled the Amazon account Ava used under my name, closed. The shared Netflix profile gone. Small things, but symbolic. She noticed. I got a final message. I guess you really never loved me. It didn't sting. It felt hollow, like the kind of line you write in a school play, the kind where the actor forgets the next sentence and stands there blinking, waiting for the lights to go down. I didn't tell her the truth, that I did love her, that I still might, in a way I can't describe. But love without respect is pity, and I have none left to give. Some people think closure comes with an apology. Others think it comes with revenge. Mine came with nothing, no final speech, no dramatic text. No one showed up at my door crying in the rain. The end didn't sound like thunder. It sounded like silence, and I've never heard anything more beautiful. It's been 3 months. I wake up when I want. The apartment is still quiet. No one needs me. No one expects anything from me. My mornings belong to me now. Slow coffee, open windows, no footsteps behind me, no guilt pacing in the hallway. Sometimes I still check my phone and expect a "can you help with" message. It never comes. Because they finally got the message. So did I. I used to think loyalty meant staying when it hurt. That maybe if I just gave more, waited longer, proved harder, I'd finally be seen, finally be loved the way I gave love. But they didn't want love. They wanted credit. They wanted funding, silence, access. I was never family. I was a subscription. The moment I stopped paying, the connection dropped. And the worst part, I let it happen for years. I funded their version of me, hoping I'd eventually earn a place in the real one. I didn't realize I was just an emotional contractor, useful during the renovation, disposable after. That's what hurt the most. Not the betrayal, the realization that I was never supposed to stay, just serve. Ava hasn't reached out again. The last thing she wrote was, "You really never loved me." I left it on read, because love isn't unconditional when the conditions are lies. She thought I'd miss her voice, her stories, her clever little manipulations. She thought I'd crumble under guilt. She doesn't understand. I didn't walk away because I hated her. I walked away because I finally stopped hating myself for not being enough. Brent never messaged again. No surprise there. Ghosts don't speak when the lights come on. His role is over, and no one's filming the sequel. Dana sent one last message. I hope you find peace. We're hurting too, you know. No, you're not. You're exposed. There's a difference. I didn't build a new life. I just stopped renting one. The version of me who tolerated the disrespect. He doesn't live here anymore. Now I do. I do my job. I go home. I eat dinner in peace. I take long walks with no destination. I read without waiting for chaos to knock. No one asks me to fund anything. No one expects me to fix the damage they caused. And maybe that's the biggest one: no applause, no awards, just my name on the lease and no one else on the keys. I used to flinch every time someone said family first. Now I know what they meant. They meant, keep us comfortable, even if it breaks you. They meant, if you love us, you'll let us use you. They meant, silence is love. But I found something better: my silence. It's not guilt anymore. It's a boundary. It's not weakness. It's final. They taught me that silence meant shame. Why are you sitting there? My mom's standing with a plate. Get up and show some respect, shouted my husband across the Thanksgiving table. I was 9 months pregnant. They used my card to pay $4,800 for dinner. I said nothing. All 38 guests started clapping. I looked around, whispered, check your phones, laughed without my coat, and blocked every account they'd ever used. 10 minutes later, the family chat exploded. 53 missed calls and 1 text from my husband: they're still waiting for you to pay. It was supposed to be Thanksgiving, my first real one as a wife, as a mother-to-be. 9 months pregnant, swollen ankles, lower back screaming, and still I showed up with a pumpkin pie and a bottle of non-alcoholic cider because tradition matters. They used my card. I didn't even know it until I got a notification mid-dinner. 4812-74 catering, table rentals, champagne I wasn't allowed to drink. I looked around at all 38 guests, none of whom seemed to think it was strange that the woman closest to labor was also the one footing the bill. His mother was standing beside me. Not once did she say thank you. She stood there with her heavy plate like a queen surveying a kingdom she didn't build. And then he said it. Why are you sitting there? My mom's standing with a plate. Get up and show some respect. Everyone turned. 38 faces. My husband's voice bouncing off the silverware and candles. It was loud, calculated, performed. I didn't say a word. I stood up slowly, belly first, waddled around the table to hand her the chair like I was her butler. My pelvis cracked audibly. I sat down on the armrest of the couch, breath shallow, and watched as everyone clapped. Clapped. Not one person thought to say, she's pregnant. Not one person looked uncomfortable. They applauded me getting up for her. I whispered one thing before I left: check your phones. Then I walked out without my coat, left the pie, left the bottle, didn't even close the door. 10 minutes later, I was in the car, engine running, watching their reactions explode one by one: group chat, family chat, private numbers. 53 missed calls, 1 text from him: they're still waiting for you to pay. I smiled and replied. Then I put the phone down and exhaled slow and full, not from relief, from clarity. Because the truth is, that moment at the table, that wasn't the betrayal. It was just the final confirmation. The real damage had been done long before the applause. We'd been married for years, together for 6. I paid for most of the wedding. He said he'd pay me back when the business took off. It never did. The house was in my name, the utilities, the food bills, even the subscriptions to his precious streaming platforms. Every holiday dinner I booked it. Every birthday cake for his mom I ordered it. He never once noticed the charge, because my card was already saved in his phone. But I never made a scene. That's the thing. I thought it would balance out. That eventually someone, him, his mother, the siblings who always left with foil-wrapped leftovers, would say thank you. Instead, they made me the wallet, the incubator, the unpaid maid. 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, I told him I might not feel up to hosting. I'd been getting dizzy spells. Braxton Hicks were intensifying. I wanted something quiet. He just looked at me and said, my mom already invited everyone. You'll be fine. You don't have to cook. We're having it catered. Catered with my card. And I didn't know that. Not yet. Because at the time, I was focused on staying upright long enough to finish my prenatal appointment. I didn't realize that while I was peeing into a cup, his mother was texting him screenshots of menu options with $signs attached. And he just replied, use her card. She won't say no. She didn't even ask. I found the proof later. After November 22nd, 3:47 p.m. his mom emailed the caterer. November 22nd, 3:49 p.m. my card was charged. He was standing outside the OB-GYN office texting, got it all sorted, while I was scheduling the C-section date. Alone, because he said he had a conference call. I didn't think much of it at the time. Then came the guest list, 38 names. I didn't even recognize half of them. His third cousin with the crypto startup, some guy from high school who calls me the pregnant chick, his ex's mom. No seat for my sister. No invite for my best friend. Just his people. I tried to say something. Maybe we keep it small. I'm due next week. He blinked at me like I'd interrupted him mid-speech. They already bought outfits. They bought coordinated outfits for Thanksgiving, and I didn't even know we were hosting. He said, "Don't worry, you just relax. We'll handle it." What he meant was, shut up and pay. I spent the next few days prepping the guest bathroom, scrubbing baseboards I could barely bend to reach, ordering extra folding chairs. He didn't notice. He was busy booking a live violinist for ambience. My mom called the night before, asked if she should bring dessert. "I don't think you're on the list," I said, trying to sound calm. She paused. He said, "It's just his side this year, that you needed fewer stressors." I said nothing, just thanked her for the call and hung up. That's when I felt it, that cold, hollow feeling, like something had already been decided without me. Like I wasn't even a guest in my own life, just a convenience. The morning of Thanksgiving, I was in the kitchen at 6 o'clock a.m., sipping water between cramps. He was still asleep. His mom arrived at 8:12 with 3 empty Tupperware containers and a look that said, "You're late." By noon, I was background noise. I caught her saying, I told her pregnancy brain would make her forget the salad. She was holding court in the dining room like it was her house. When I whispered that I needed to sit down for a minute, she smiled and said, "You've been sitting a lot lately, haven't you?" No one flinched. He didn't even hear her or pretended not to until the moment she stood behind my chair and he shouted. Then came the clapping. Then came my exit. But what no one realized not in that moment was that I wasn't walking away hurt. I was walking away prepared, because 3 days before Thanksgiving, I made a backup and encrypted PDF of every transaction over $100 in the last 6 months. Screenshots of every payment made from my card to his mother's Venmo, including the ones marked "Thanks" for groceries that match the exact total of wine orders from a local boutique. Bank records, rental invoices, the caterer's receipt that listed my name and my address. I had been the foundation, the roof, the walls. They just painted themselves into the photo and called it theirs. And now they were clapping. And now I had already logged into the admin panel. The accounts were mine. The auto payments canceled. The family Netflix account logged out on every device. The emergency credit line frozen. Their holiday bonus processed by me, stopped by me. He once said, "You're just so good at managing everything." He was right. He just forgot what happens when the manager quits. The real explosion didn't come with the clapping. It came when I opened his laptop. He never changed the password, same one since college. A mix of his football number and his ex's initials. Subtle, right? It wasn't snooping, not after what he'd done. Not after he used my card like a business account and paraded his mother around like royalty while I sat there, pregnant and disposable. I didn't even have to search. It was all their emails with his mom, forwarding invoices before asking me anything. Use her card. She's got it. Don't worry. She'll think it was her idea. They laughed about it, my exhaustion, my swollen feet. They called me the bank with a belly. There was a spreadsheet literally titled Holiday Budget. Every cell highlighted my name on the payment line. Even the tablecloth rental was tagged her Amex. But that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was the message thread from the night before Thanksgiving, a group chat between him, his mom, and his sister. "Make sure she wears something loose. We don't want her ruining the photos. She always looks tired lately. Maybe seat her in the corner. Just get her to sit and smile. After that, no one needs her." That line broke something in me. No one needs her. Not she's carrying our child. Not she's hosting the dinner. Just a disposable background prop. But here's the kicker. My name wasn't even on the invitations. His sister had sent digital invites weeks ago, and I wasn't cited. The RSVP confirmation went to his mother's email. All replies managed through a Google form. The section for dietary restrictions was blank. I'm allergic to almonds. The catered dessert? Almond tart. They had planned it without me, used me, erased me, and then applauded me for moving when told. So I kept going. Logged into the shared family cloud, the one I paid for. Inside were receipts for spa appointments his mother had booked in my name. She'd used the email tied to my business account. 3 massages, 1 prenatal facial, all billed to me. There were Uber rides, meal deliveries, even the dog groomer. They don't own a dog. I cross-checked timestamps. The week I was hospitalized for dehydration, they sent a group text. "Let's not bother her. She's dramatic when she's sick." then ordered sushi on me. He was at the hospital for 10 minutes, said he had a meeting. That meeting? A haircut, confirmed by calendar invite. I went cold. Not angry, not hurt, just surgical. That night, I moved every dollar into a new private account, canceled every joint service, rerouted my paychecks, changed the locks. Then I took my name off the baby registry, yes, my own baby, because that registry had been created by his mother. She put her address. She'd chosen items I'd never seen: a $1,200 bassinet I didn't want, a monogram diaper bag with her initials, not mine. When I removed myself as